Hello guys, Michael here with another video. So I saw a clip and I think a lot of men can relate themselves to that clip. And I want you to watch it. It's about a minute, so let's watch it together.
If a woman leaves you for another man, don't beg, don't argue, don't try to win her back. She made a decision. In that moment, she saw him as the better option. Maybe it was looks, confidence, money, or just timing. But whatever it was, she chose him over you. Now here's the brutal truth. Once a woman replaces you, you can't talk her out of it. No long messages, no emotional calls. Nothing you say will change her mind because she already left before she told you. And when you chase her, you don't look romantic. You look replaceable. You look like a backup plan. What you need to understand is, you don't chase someone who walked away like you were nothing. You go silent, not to play games, but to protect your peace. No angry texts, no checking her stories, no trying to stay friends. You disappear.
All right, so I believe that a lot of men out there has been in this situation and are in this situation right now. So what do I think about that message? It's definitely made some good points. Most of the time when a woman decides to leave you or leave a man, she have been thinking about this one over and over again. Once she have done it, there's no turning back. So what should you do as a man then? Should you follow those points? Well, yes, I think that's a very good way to go. I think it's a good mindset to have. But on the other hand, it's easier said than done. Because if you are a man that don't really have female options, you don't really have a dating pool, you just don't know exactly how to meet and attract women, you will feel lost here. You might be able to apply that type of mindset for a short-term period, but in the long term, you will definitely bury yourself down if you don't know how to move on from that point. So how can you move on if someone left you like that and you're now left alone? And you can feel the signals in your head saying to you that you should try to get her back. You should try to text her. You should try to, do something in order to have the chance to take her back and make it as it was before. Well, most of the time it's not going to work. And she has already started a new life with a new man. So there is no other option for you to actually move on. And since you're now single, you need to look at what elements that actually trigger attraction in other women. You need to become an attractive man. That's what you have to do. So working on yourself is number one. And that includes heavily on your conversational skills that leads to emotional connection and attraction. Let's say now that you are now feeling really, really down, you now have to do something. Well, what you have to do now is to overwrite your negative emotions, your negative mindset into the realistic mindset. And that realistic mindset is that you have to improve. Most of the time you have to improve yourself. You see? And the first thing you have to do is to check if you are that average man. Do you have good hygiene? Do you look properly? Do you, earn enough to sustain yourself and to have a reasonable good lifestyle? If you have that things in check, move on to the next part. And that is to learn how to communicate. This is probably something you never knew how to do anyway, at least when it comes to the real way that creates emotional connection that leads to attraction. It might even be that part that you lacked on in your last relationship that actually made her leave you and find someone else that actually could trigger her emotionally. So let's focus on that now. Let's focus on learning how to communicate with women in a way that creates connection. And from that connection, it can lead to anywhere. So your first step is basically self-improvement. It definitely is. It's not to find ways to get her back. It's much more about improving yourself as a guy, as a person. And then we go into the area of you being able to actually get a dating pool. You need to go and approach women in order to have the potential to date X amount of women to see who actually going to fit you as a man that you can build a relationship with. So that is what you have to do. That is actually the only solution I can see work. I know a lot of guys being really depressed over a breakup, and they go to psychologists to handle that kind of negative emotions and so on, but nothing really helped. Really, I've seen a lot of guys going to therapies because of breakups or divorces, and they can more or less handle their negative emotions, but they're still super unhappy because nothing else is going on in their life. They don't meet new women. They don't create this dating pool to see who's actually fitting them as a partner and build on that. They don't do anything like that. They just, in some way solving their negative emotional state to become sort of normal. And then the life goes on with them being single and nothing happens. That is not the way to go. Behavioral change is the way to go, because your old behaviors versus your new behaviors can be like day and night. Your new behaviors is dictating how your life is going to look like in the future. And that is what I'm emphasizing on. And the first step is self-improvement. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked this video, and I see you in the next one.